Oh God.
People. People. Hello and good afternoon. Guess what? That was me a few months ago. And to be more exact, in the beginning of the year when I started studying here. Yeah, I was not antisocial, but my level of socializing was kind of low. And also, I didn't have the confidence to speak in public or in public places or to step out from my comfort zone or to say it in another way, to step out of my shell. So I just came across this thing, this experience, the volunteering experience. And that's what we're going to talk about today, me along with my colleague.
So, like Mike already said before, most people are a bit shy in the beginning of the year. I was one of those. Today, I became a lot more confident and a lot more confident in what I'm doing, as I already knew, like, what am I going to do with my life? I knew what I was going to study, I knew which track I was going to do, but I never had the experience, and the only thing that could bring that to me was voluntary work. But like Mike already said, most people think, why would you do voluntary work? Because it's work you do for free, you do it for nothing. Well, I was one of those. Today, I am one of the four standers, a big fan of voluntary work because it brought me actually somewhere I wanted to be and wanted to become. Because nowadays, you just need the experience to become what you want, and this is exactly what voluntary work has done for me. So, like I already said, we're going to talk about volunteering. I've done it at Rebirth Festival, and my colleague Mike, he's done it at Dogfeed. My name is Lena, by the way, and we're moving on to the table of contents. So the introduction was the storytelling, which we've already done nicely. After that, we're going to talk about the type of organization, so Rebirth Festival and Dogfeed. Why we've chosen these companies, and next to that also the experience it left we've had and the impression that it left on us. And lastly, the importance of voluntary work, because this is the most important thing. The type of organization, so like mentioned before, I have done my voluntary work at Rebirth Festival. I've done this for 2 whole days, which is also the amount of the festival, so a 2-day festival. Rebirth is situated in Haren, which is like an hour from here, so you could always visit. And they work with 300 volunteers. But not do they only work with students as volunteers, because this is what you might think, as it is a hardstyle/hardcore festival. You would always think, okay, this is probably just going to attract the young people, the party people or whatsoever. Well, nothing was less true, because they work with, I think, about 75% of the volunteers were all elderly people who were above 40 until their 60s, 70s. And this was also the community which they attracted for the festival itself. So it was not only the party people that went there, but also the local people especially, because they wanted to know what was going on in their village. And this created a really unique setting, so to say, not only for the workers, but also for the people who went to the festival. Like I already mentioned before, it gave us a great community feeling due to the variety of target groups of people who were attending, and next to that there was a great atmosphere. Mike is going to tell you some more about Dogfeed.
Dude, it's getting hot in here. You're all lit. Yeah, so Dogfeed. Dogfeed is literally the opposite of Rebirth. Rebirth being like a hot style festival. Dogfeed is more on the art and documentary part. It's a 3-day festival. The venue is situated in Eindhoven, is like in the Netherlands, and it's like two hours until there. It's full of culture. That city is so full of culture, and the people from that city are so welcoming. What can I say about Dogfeed? Yeah, it's a unique festival which successfully blends art and documentaries into one, and people from all across the world just come to show their work, to view different pieces of art, and just to come together one more time to share their only and common goal, to enjoy art and to see art as like the most like us as human beings are pieces of art in their opinion. So yeah, we are pieces of art.
All right, before I'm going to move on to the next, I just want to ask you guys all a question. Have any of you done voluntary work before? Okay, if you did, raise your hand. Okay, so I see that a lot of people has done voluntary work before. Could you please tell me what was the most interesting thing that you've gained from this experience? Okay, yeah, you. All right, so they're talking, la 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 la. All right, so yeah, these are actually one of the great experiences that you can have, and this is something that you can gain during your voluntary work. What we mostly have underwent during our voluntary work is, well, like Mike already did with his great storytelling, the sociability. He was one of those people who couldn't look people in the eye. Well, nowadays he is this very confident man. And don't we all want to be like that? Next to that, developing and gaining skills. Well, you could literally think everything in the world, like the sky is the limit. Gaining skills like, I don't know, presenting or being a good manager, I don't know, leader skills, everything you can imagine basically. And it also depends on, obviously, what you're going to do, where you're going to do voluntary work for. And that is the greatest thing that I've experienced, because you can create a work experience in your favorite environment. Because why does voluntary work has to be boring? You could always choose your best place, the most interesting place to work at. Okay, Mike?
Yeah, as far as the involvement concerns, I like why I chose this company is due to the fact that it gets you involved. Like those artists, you're just walking around. You're like a floor manager, and you're just walking around. And those artists are literally grabbing you and just putting by their side, and look at that. Oh, yeah, what you see, almost nothing. And then they start to tell the real story behind the pieces of art. And also the company itself involves you, like it's all about equality, it's all about involvement as an individual and being like a part of a unit. It's no such thing as you're one, you're two, you're three. No, you're all one. So that's a major player in the company. Also, exploring new areas of interest. Maybe you weren't interested about art, or maybe you weren't interested about documentaries. What's a documentary? I'm just gonna film myself right now and I'm just gonna tell my story life. No. Documentaries are the pieces, one of the pieces of art in that festival. Because in those documentaries, several people just adapt their life and curve their life depending on a storyline. For example, I saw this one documentary with an old man that literally started building like a satellite and also a spaceship because his dream was to go on the moon. So yeah, sky's the limit. Also, the community feeling. During both festivals, Rebirth and also Dogfeed, the community feeling is key. Because everyone all across the world, internationally oriented, because it's a major trend in 2017, they all come together. It's no such thing as racism or you're tall, you're short. No, we're all on the same length, on the same line. As far as the experience, education, connections, marketability, and ambitions, those are the ones that you're gonna run for. Trust me. You're on your path on growing yourself as a professional, and you need to have connections. You need to broaden your network. Also, experience every employer wants his employees to have experience. And if you want to get a job somewhere, you need to have experience. How can you gain that experience? By volunteering. That's like, this step is the job. This step is like nada. And this step is the experience that you have to get. And how can you get that? Because you're a student. You can have like a job. You can have a job and to study in the same time, like a full job, to gain as much experience as possible. So you need to take the step in between. That's volunteering. So you're also gonna market, like you're just gonna go on the market. You're just gonna make yourself known and recognized amongst others and amongst the industry. Ambition. You need to have ambition to achieve all of them. Because if you don't have ambition, trust me, no one is going to come to you and be like, okay, here is your experience for your most wanted job. Here is your network full of important people and people of all kinds. Here is your place in the industry and on the market. And here is your diploma in education. No, you need to work for that. And volunteering is one of the ways in which you can gain those. The experience, it's fulfilling. Like seriously, my experience was, I seemed like I was another person. Like I was fulfilled of myself, and I felt like I was part of something bigger. Not only I'm just gonna sit in my desk, yeah, I'm just gonna write something, I'm just gonna decorate something. No, I was part of something bigger. Not only like a small bit on a box. No, something way bigger. Because if you're like, as I was talking about previously with the involvement, if the company involves you, trust me, you're gonna be part of something bigger. And if you're gonna continue volunteering for the same company or like on the same branch or on the same line, trust me, you're gonna be part of something bigger. Also, being appreciated. You wanna be appreciated. I wanna be appreciated. I'm not doing things just to do them. No, you wanna feel something. And in the company and at Rebirth Festival, trust me, the appreciation is like this. No, this high? No. Sky is the limit. I think it's the fourth time I'm going to say it during this presentation. Good vibes, atmosphere, that's all about Rebirth, and that's all about Dogfeed. Because like there are different festivals, but they're both on the same line, on blending the same principles.
Then what is it? Oh.
And now Lena is going to continue with the list.
Then what is it exactly that gave you the great atmosphere during Dogfeed?
To be honest, the connections that I made, mainly how I interacted with people and how I made my network larger, and also gaining insights and experience and feeling appreciated for what I did. And what's that appreciation? By just knowing that person and that person knowing you. So that's all about it.
To me, for me, the good vibes and the atmosphere was definitely that I could just go to work. I had one of the easiest jobs ever. Like I was being a bar manager. I mean, who doesn't want to be that? And at the same time that I was have a lot of responsibilities, I could just do whatever I want. Nothing was too much to ask. You literally, it was like, okay, yeah, if you want to do this, yeah, go for it. But if you don't want to, then just don't do it. That gave us the atmosphere and the good vibes that make you want to work for it, because they're not going to force you to do anything. So I don't know, that just the atmosphere. Oh, never mind. Okay. And next to that, I could just dance and do whatever I want during working. So what makes it more fun than that? The responsibility is something that is really important during your voluntary work, because if they're just going to give you a shitty job like picking up trash or whatsoever, you're not going to be motivated. But if they give you great responsibility, which is something that Rebirth, same with Dogfeed, both do, they give you a job that makes you feel appreciated, that makes you feel like you're actually part of the team, and that's already what we said, like part of something bigger. It makes you feel part of the team and creates the community. The insights.
Yeah, mainly the insights are linked, as I said earlier, with the learning moments. Like as I told you, just like random artists are just dragging you and learning you how to look at some pieces of art in order to discover the meaning behind those pieces of art, and also the documentaries, how to look at them and how to view them in such a way that you're gonna understand like their real message towards their audience. Effective and efficient schedule. You are a student. You need those. You need to be effective and efficient in your schedule. And as I had in Dogfeed, I had shifts consisting of 8 hours, and I had to plan like every time, every little detail. Even when I went to the bathroom, even when I had like a small break, like to smoke a cigarette or to have breakfast. As a human being, you need to have your schedule on point. You need to be effective and efficient in order to grow, not to grow, in order to be at peace with yourself.
Okay, and then the impression that it left. Well, basically, I came there with no expectations because I didn't know what it was at first. I just heard some really good stories, but I was a bit skeptical. And then when I came there and I finished the first shift, so on the first day, I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do this tomorrow again. And I actually came in earlier to work because I was supposed to work at 3 o'clock, and I came in at 12 o'clock because I was like, okay, yeah, I just want to do this. And they were like, oh, we need some more people. And because of that, it just exceeded my expectations before, and therefore I was more willing to work the next day as well. Because we actually felt bonded with each other, like with the people that you've worked with your manager, with everyone. And well, the organizational structure was definitely on point because you could actually see that they knew what they were doing, they knew exactly what they were talking about, and that also gave you this feeling that it was all fine, that you were just there and you could do whatever you want, and it's just all going to be fine because you know that these people who are here are professionals and they're here to help you, and they're here to help you become one of them. And well, the equality, like I already said before, no one ever said to us like, you're just a volunteer. They were always like, oh yeah, and enjoy joining you in, and like literally you could do everything together. How weird is it? You could just have a beer together with your boss. You could dance at the festival.
That's true.
Yeah, at the film documentary, you were watching a movie with your boss, were you?
That's true.
Okay, so all these things, there is no such thing as
ups and downs,
yeah.
as in the organizational structure. They're all equal. We all share like the same treatment. No one is higher, no one is lower. The same treatment goes for all. And like
you get lunch, then the volunteers get lunch too.
Yeah, true, true.
They get something to drink, then the volunteers get something to drink.
And like my final impression was I grown. Like I literally grown up. How? Because this, like, as you volunteer, you experience new things, and those things help you and contribute to your growth as an individual. So it's personal growth. The importance of volunteering goes two ways, at least in our opinion. For young professionals, as you and me and her and everyone who's studying in this school, and people in general. Firstly, the young professionals, us. We are career focused. We want our career. We want a steady job, like a sure job, with a well-paid wage, and to also meet our future goals. So our goals need to be on the same line with the goal job. How can you achieve those? You need experiences, as I said. So during your volunteering at these companies, you're gonna find them very useful for your own growth and to achieve your own goals in the matters of job, career, and all other goals that you set for yourself during this time and this university. For you to do all the free things, you need to know people. Again, broaden your network. You need to be recognized in the industry, and you need to make yourself recognizable in the industry. And now Lena is going to talk about what people in general find important in volunteering.
So in general, mostly like the most common reason for a person to do voluntary work is just for the health, just to stay healthy, to stay social. It actually has been proven that it improves your health risks and everything. So for example, your heart, like, I don't know, it just keeps you healthy. Staying occupied, because how many people nowadays are feeling lonely, are sitting at home like, oh, I don't know what to do. This is one of the major reasons that people are doing this, because it gives you the feeling that you're part of someone, and you just have friends and everything, and socializing comes together with that. And the other part is civic responsibility, so you feel like this is your duty to contribute to your country, or to, I don't know, to, like I said before, in Rebirth, the locals, they were all helping. Well, this is, okay, the end. This is an example of the civic responsibility.
Yeah. And the end.
Okay. Oh my god.
Stop it.